Would you all please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start sentence, John.
Okay, item 6, approve the agenda.
Motion approved.
Motion by Breeden,
Second.
second by
Might have to
Tremmel.
stand up to get it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Public comments upon matters not on the agenda or other announcements.
Just wanted to say thank you to the town of Lawrence for New Eye for hosting our second quarter commission meeting of the municipalities next month. So,
Good. Good. Thank you. Okay, item 8, consideration of minutes from June 12, 2017 meeting.
Motion approved as listed.
Motion by Brennan,
Second.
second by Trowell. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 9, consideration of payment of due invoices and wages. You did get an update, right, Jennifer, later? I made a copy of it anyway.
Move to approve vouchers as listed.
Okay, motion by Tremmel,
Second.
second by Vandeye. Any questions?
I get some questions.
Go ahead.
Okay, new sign trailer brackets, what was that?
So part of the capital budget, we had to purchase a sign trailer, so to hold the actual signs on the trailer, they had to have all the mountains.
So they added brackets to it?
Yep.
Second one, Little Rock fence ball diamond, $2,164.
They had to fix all the fencing on the old fields.
What was going on? It's rusting off? or-
No, it's
They're
raised
raised
up
up.
from the frost. The balls are going underneath, they're up like a foot.
Okay.
I believe
This
your
is bringing up the
baseball
same question.
Yeah, they give your baseballs in them.
pay half, I
Pay
think
half
of
or
it.
half.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so I just saw this.
Yep.
Is this the full amount? They're gonna pay half of that?
Correct, basically.
Okay. And I think before next year, I'd like to review that agreement
Contract.
with him. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I don't know if we want to do it this summer or
We
fall
should
or.
probably do it before fall, because
That's,
I thought there was a new one that had to be signed or something for this. I think, it was 3 years, 2 years, or I don't remember how long.
No, it's every year.
Oh, Kevin Brunner was saying something that had to be
I
re-signed.
really want to take a hard look at the, sure, it seems like we're, between the dugouts and these fence and stuff, it's skyrocketing. I want to make sure is that okay?
Yep, I'll, do you want to bring it back, do you want me to bring it to the next meeting?
Whenever, yeah.
Okay.
Jake Gordon's, this Scadia, what was going on with that?
Street Gordons, we lost communications that day. We had the computers were all shut down here, locked up this computer, but then they were painting up in the meter station, and the guy, unbeknownst to me, which I had made at the tech committee, I made my issues.
Did you?
Yeah, that they knew about it, and they were going back. He actually hit our cable and knocked our cable for our antenna loose. So
Because I've heard some other stories where they broke off valves and stuff in some of the other
Yeah, I didn't know they were even there, so it
municipalities.
was raining, and I opened the door and walked in, stepped right in fresh paint on my shoes, and the start wore off my shoes.
So you raised this issue with them.
Yep, so I thought it was a different issue than the cable was loose. I mean, shouldn't have been loose,
Is this something I should bring up at the next meeting, or?
if you want.
Because I heard a lot of complaints from other communities too, that they've been doing damage when they've been repainting.
We didn't have any damage other than them hitting, he must have been on the floor and hit into, bumped into and knocked the connection loose.
Another question, Archie Hendricks, mahogany curb replacement, is that damage due from a contractor, or?
No, it's, the curb is, by the inlets, I don't know, it's poor installation from the beginning or what, but they're caving in, so unfortunately, the driveway's coming out way to the curb, so we had to fix it.
I would just want to make sure it was a contractor.
No.
No, you're gonna start seeing that from time to time now, because you're gonna have curbs that are gonna.
I got a list of curbs that need to be fixed, I guess I don't got money for that this year.
That's fine, if that's what it is. Rural Mutual General Liability, 6966. What is that?
They have the command truck.
Add a vehicle for it.
We had
The
a-
new fire department truck.
And lastly, I had one item on the legal bill. The notation for 5.5, reviewed, formed, and verified content of spec manual, also called to engineer regarding special specs and bid quantities. What was that regard?
So that's for, we have to have the attorney sign all our bid contracts, so that was one of the contracts that he had to,
And did he make a call separate to Matt?
yes. He was questioning the date that we sign them, which we don't date them until Matt gets them back, and Matt dates them for us, and he was having heard about that. It's like, the way we've always done it.
So that, my only concern would be that he has the ability to go charge us for time that he called the engineer separately. I guess that would fall under that policy that I would really like to see. We haven't done yet, but I think that would fall under this, where I want to make sure we control when he's using time calling somebody else that we have no control over. I think that would fall under this policy that I'd like to see. So that's all I got for questions.
Kurt, refresh me on the command vehicle. But
Oh, it's a 3/4 ton vehicle. Getting a cap put on it, roll-out tray, the whole light package, the radio, everything going in it. It'll be used for weekend on-calls, the guys that are covering for the chiefs, you know.
Okay.
And then during the week, it can be used for fire inspections, it can be used for training, running stuff, picking up stuff, whatever we need to. So, whatever the need is for it. It's here, it's in the station right now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, that came in fast. They told us 90 days, we had it in about, 45? It was fast. Not surprising, so.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. Item 10, consideration of operators' licenses for the period of July 1, 2017 to June 30, 2018.
So those all have been reviewed by Randy Bonney and have been.
Okay, all right.
I'll move to approve the.
Motion by Vandehei,
Second.
second by Vandenack. Any questions? Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. 11, consideration of payment options on Williams Grant 2006 project for parcel L-170-3. Who wants to cover that?
I'll take it.
Okay.
So Doug Powers had asked if we, so his property was assessed with two different assessments. The developed property was placed on the 10-year repayment schedule, which has been now paid in full. And then the undeveloped part of his property was put on the deferred 10-year deferment, which is now the one that has come due. He has asked if the town would be willing to do a 10-year installment repayment agreement. He would be willing to pay the interest, whatever interest rate you decide to set for the repayment. And if I could put it on the tax bill annually, which I have no issues putting it on a tax bill. It's easy to do. It's not a hard thing to do it, but it would ultimately be up to you guys if you would grant that kind of a repayment to him. And he was the only one that,
Keep forward.
My thought that 10 years is a long time on that. You deferred it for 10 years already. And I think you want to set up a payment schedule over 5 years or something. I think that ought to be sufficient.
and I think he asked for 10 because it kept his taxes the same as what they were with the other assessment on there.
What interest would you put on it for now?
That's what was identified back 10 years ago, right?
Correct, yep. And that was what was charged on the other assessments that he was paying. So that's why I calculated everything at the 4.5% interest rate because that's what it was.
Yeah.
How does that affect the Westview Pier TOSA reimbursement? I saw that we had the others, I assume, that paid and we've reimbursed, right?
Correct.
So how would that affect this? Huh?
So that is a good question because every time I send them a check for reimbursement, they call me and they're like, what's this for? So they don't even realize that it's even
They've
due.
forgotten about that.
Yeah. So what me and Patrick had this conversation, what I told Patrick was, is the first couple payments that would come in, we just send directly to the school to cover the school's portion, it's only like $3,000.
No, I mean with this, you're saying the school is even aware of it, so they won't even care if we do this or not. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't know if we say that, yeah, she's
That's
not
what
saying
she
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
That's
Yes.
what she said.
I'm
Is that
quoting her,
right?
Lynn.
Yes, go ahead, throw me on the bus.
Well, I mean that,
They,
it is what it is.
it is what it is, and he owes like $3,000 to the school. The school's been paid in full for everything else except this, so.
It's
I
just
don't
that I
think they
noticed
care.
the other total reimbursement, I thought, geez, how does this affect
Yeah.
that? That's fine.
And those are interest-free to the school too, so.
And are we setting a precedent by allowing it? or-
Well, that's where my problem comes in from this.
I really like
I don't know that
10
you're
years.
setting up precedents because the actual homeowner came and requested, this is a special circumstance, so, I mean, it's ultimately the board decision of what you're gonna grant this or going forward.
Is there a hardship?
It seems like it.
It's tough for you.
Well, it isn't free either, it's 4.5%, so
Right.
what would that come to at 10 years?
Should we still do that 4.5% even though we're more cheaper?
That would be my recommendation, is to charge it 4.5%, because that's what we paid for, that's what the town paid for it, so you're, you know, I
Right.
wouldn't want to cut the town short. I'm sorry, Lynn, what was your question?
No, what was the total interest on that?
Well, it's on this,
I
we
didn't.
got it up
It's
on
on
the board
this-
there, but it's the third sheet in your packet. It shows, Jennifer put together a hypothetical repayment plan that shows principal and interest.
I
It's
saw
like
it, I
it's
just
like
can't
ten-
remember what it is.
3 times
Three
3,000,
Yeah.
I'd say between $3,000 and $4,000 total.
What if you were to sell it, would that all
Then it
become
comes up-
due and payable?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, same as it would be.
Or a mortgage loan, you get 4.5%.
I asked him, I just kind of got the,
Yeah, I mean, you're doing what you were at.
yeah,
But I mean, that's awesome.
you can get the deduction either way, through this or through the home loan.
I hope it wasn't 4.5%.
This is the second mortgage. First.
Okay.
We don't know what his
What's
financial
part of
situation
this
is.
property or undeveloped?
The corner piece where the barn is.
It's about 282 feet of frontage.
If that's all part of his homestead, right?
Well, and that was, I mean, this is what was agreed upon initially. Because they paid the 192,
That was considered his homestead, right?
right. His is a unique one because it's all one piece. Sheridan's was like that too. Their property was like that. They had a lot of frontage. And so they were only assessed, they had 2 assessments, one that was on the 10-year repayment and then the lump sum one. Because of the developed versus undeveloped portion. So the undeveloped piece goes like right after the driveway where the barn is. I don't know if you can see that or not, but, to the corner on Williams Green.
Hold one for rent? What's the thoughts on that side of the room?
What's that?
Ask you for the
Oh,
thoughts on
thoughts
that
over
side
here?
of the room.
I do not have a strong opinion on it either way.
Okay. Right?
I'll go
I
with this.
just know that Doug was a former fireman and pretty loyal resident and stuff. I guess I'm leaning towards conceding. I could see either way too.
4.5 to 10, that seems fair.
What is his payments per year, Jennifer?
Like $1,200.
$1,200, yeah.
I'm sorry, 13.
Well, even 13.
It's not gonna break the town. It's
No.
actually gonna make us a little money. And
Yep.
if all the others have paid up, I guess, you know how tight I am, but I'm willing to concede. That's,
I'm okay
you asked
with
my
that, too.
opinion, Ken, that's what it is.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. And I guess the record can reflect, it's not a setting a precedent, it was requested of us and we just approved, so. Okay, if you're gonna have a motion,
I move to approve the 10-year installment plan for this parcel. I don't know what the parcel number is.
L-170-3.
L-170-3
And like you just stated, interest rate you want to charge, Randy?
at 4.5% per year for the 10-year period. Payable upon sale.
Sale or transfer?
Right.
okay, motion by Trumbull. Second by Brennan. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. 12, consideration of resolution 17-007, 2016 CMER report for sanitary sewer system and the 2016 CMER report. Jennifer?
So this is our annual CMAR report for our sewer system. It has to be filed with the DNR. We do this every year. There's no issues.
Motion, no.
Usually they assign you a GPA. I believe you guys have a straight A report card, which is very good.
Did everybody in this room get straight A? Just wondering.
Yeah.
Just to prepare.
Randy, right? Okay, so no issues with the report, just for information.
No, it's actually probably pretty exceptional, I would say.
Okay, we're not gonna get into that. All right. Motion?
Move to approve resolution 17-007, 2016 CMAR report for sanitary sewer system.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Trumbull, second by Vandenack. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. 13, consideration of town business hours for Monday, July 3, 2017.
Yep, got a note in there, just looking back at what the town has done in the past. There's the last time that July 4th, which is already a holiday that we're closed for, the last time that there was a day in between that and the weekend, the town had closed the offices and had required employees to take either their regularly scheduled day off for the week or paid time off. And so the question here was, over the last year, we haven't had the town board, I guess, officially vote on that. Polling the employees, there's not a whole lot of deadlines or anything like that that are due on Monday, July 3rd. So again, Tuesday, July 4th, we'd be closed. We'd be asking if the town board would be willing to continue that practice of closing, but again, requiring that employees that are not, you're not getting a paid holiday or anything, you'd have to use time off. So what we'd ask for is for your, I guess, blessing on that. Again, my apologies that it's a week away, but we'll be better prepared for next year. We'll get it in time, so.
Do we need a motion or just?
If you could, I think that way we get it in the record. I think that way we should be good.
I'm guessing that the employees all prefer to have Monday off.
They do.
And my personal belief, and I've had this discussion with many people in different businesses, is why everybody doesn't have that Monday off.
When it falls.
I know a lot of
on
people
Monday,
that gotta work that Monday, and I'm just like, that's just not sensible. So I'm in favor of, yeah, and I don't even care if it's an unpaid day off, period. I don't, you know.
Okay.
You know, if.
Yeah, it could be
people-
unpaid, but as long as people have the
Yeah.
option to take paid time off for it.
Yeah, I don't care.
I guess the bigger question is somebody who wants to work and not use a vacation, you get allowed them to work?
I have not, it's an elusive person to find right now,
No,
but.
I'm gonna
But yeah, in the event
I'm
that
gonna work that day.
I mean, people are still gonna be on call in the event of an emergency or something like that.
Well, I plan on working that day. I didn't want to use my vacation that day, so I plan on working that day.
Okay. The biggest thing would be for the town, for the business office.
I'm okay with business office closed if any employees want to work and can come up with a plan to approve by you of what they're gonna do for the day with the office being closed, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, so is that a motion?
Yep.
Okay, motion by Brennan, second by Vandenack. Right? Any other discussion?
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried unanimously. 14, discussion on proposed upgrades to accommodate the donated fitness equipment at the fire station.
We put together a little bit of a memo here. Really what we're looking for is to get this in front of the town board. Kurt had forwarded this to me a month ago probably, and so what we've been looking for, there is some donated or discarded, or maybe both, fitness equipment from St. Norbert that the fire department was able to get a hold of. In order to accommodate that equipment and also in the interest of adding a little bit of a workbench and some storage, fire department has come together with a concept plan for some improvements, which is in your packet there. The concept plan they're looking at is about $7,000 in cost. I've got it up on the screen there too. The one thing that I don't have for a recommendation, so I do apologize. Again, we got this in front of you for some direction. The direction we'd be seeking then is, how would you anticipate that we would pay for this? Do we use existing budget funds, make a budget amendment? The fire department has a checking account. Is that a preferred source of funding? Or would you prefer that this gets held until the 2018 budget for funds to be budgeted? I think any of those things on some level are out there. Kick it to Kurt for anything else on
Kurt,
that.
before you do that, what kind of equipment do you have?
Oh, there's a treadmill, there's a, was it elliptical, Kevin, or whatever?
Elliptical, okay,
And then there's
elliptical,
Three
separate?
weights, there's a weight
So,
system.
a nice variety.
Oh, a good $5,000 worth of equipment at least.
That's
Yeah,
not
they were
cheap.
gonna throw it out, and they said, unless you can find a place, that one of the guys was working there, and they said, well, the fire department can take it.
Sure.
Put the rubber mats for the floor a
Yep.
little bit,
Do
Call mats work good.
Yeah, that's what basically what they're.
Do you anticipate that it's going to be used?
Well, I hung some hose on it the other day, just joking. We do have about 6 of people that are fanatic workout people. And they're gonna be quitting their gym membership to work out at the fire station. So they can do it for nothing. Which puts firefighters at the fire station, working out in case you get a call, they're there.
Is that going to be exclusively for firefighters?
No, anybody that wants to use it.
Good
that's
employees, good employees.
Oh, yeah, employees can use it, that's fine.
Well, the only reason I'm asking, I'm pretty sure that like West Superior School District now has opened their
Well,
gym up.
Only issue I have,
Their area's up from 5:30 in the morning till whenever.
you just don't want anybody walking in screwing with the trucks
No.
and moving equipment.
Well, right,
It's not
exactly.
limited to town staff, town people, town employees.
And I guess we could do that, limited to town staff.
Yeah, so it'll be behind the trucks, it's gonna be out in the barn. It's not gonna be in a rural, but you're gonna be sweating to the oldies, whatever you wanna do, I guess.
So is most of this to store it then?
No, we're gonna we already took some stuff out, we moved the refrigerator, we did, the old workbench is there, we're gonna kinda condense it, put a wall up, so the back side of the wall, of the workbench area will be used for putting some of the equipment on, that kind of thing,
I guess my only concern is, I would like to see it, I think it's a good idea and a good concept, maybe to put it into next year's budget rather than take it from this year's, that's just my.
Or is it, do you have it in your budget?
No, we don't have that in our budget. It just, it came up out of the blue, so we grabbed it.
I understand.
And now it's sitting there,
We
well,
need to take advantage
try
of
to,
when it comes along.
we could probably put most of the equipment up temporarily, and if because that one wall needs to be there to get it permanent, but we can make it work. Don't get me wrong, we can make it work for now.
If we could just proceed this fall or something with it and put it
That's-
in next year's budget.
That's it. That would work.
if you can get it to work
I'm
without the
asking.
wall thing, and I can see, fitness, I mean, today's
Well,
world.
that's,
So I don't have a problem in making sure it's in next year's budget. I don't have a problem with that at all.
Free equipment.
Huh?
Fitness.
Yeah, well,
We say it.
everybody's there at 5:30 of the board fitness.
I don't get up till 6.
well, I took a picture, I had to hold the door open.
Yeah.
I was there saying 50-pound weight. I said it, I took a picture, and I said, look, I'm already using the workout equipment. A couple people took offense, and I'm like, okay, it was a joke, folks. A couple guys in the fire department, because they really did. There's some workout fanatics that work out 5-6 times a week.
Kurt's down the road, if we have space, or when we build another building, to have a spot like
Right.
that and open the community is not a bad idea.
No, no.
Well, for that matter, don't we have an extra office here?
A few.
It probably
In
wouldn't.
a few spaces, but to have it
That's
open,
not
like he's saying,
enough.
to the public, it's not.
No,
the way that that might
I don't
work.
think we should have it open to the public, but only for staff and
It's take
firefighters.
up quite a bit of room. What do you think?
That,
Dennis?
no,
It's
that's
a couple
big
stuff.
stuff. It's not just a little,
Oh, yeah.
No.
little equipment.
It's-
This is a.
That'll
this
take,
is a
it'll
space.
take up a lot of.
We're not even gonna
This
have it
room
all.
only gets used once in a while.
We have to give up the
Accessory
conference
room.
room.
Yes.
This is rented like every other weekend. Well, it's rented every weekend, actually.
I like their plan and I think that'd work. It's just a matter is, can you guys put up with that? and
Oh,
make
sure.
it work?
It was an idea to throw
Put the
that,
money in
and we
next
threw
year?
it at Patrick,
Is that-
said, what do you
or
think?
is that
So bring it to
not-
the board. If there's money, there's money. There's not, we'll do it next year. I mean, that's just how. it's
Well, we
all
could
is.
wait till we see if we get toward the end of this year and see if we got some money. If we got some money, we'll
If,
give it.
if we go ahead with this, put this walls in and everything, it doesn't confine the fire department area.
No,
that they need
right now,
that.
the trucks or nothing will be affected. It actually is gonna hide some of the ugliness, the garbage cans and all that. That's where the first wall's gonna be, you know, really, you know.
Generator, it's all good.
Generator will be behind the wall. But then the workbench, it's an old wood workbench, and we just need, trying to get more organized shelving, some newer,
Sure.
modernized. This workbench was here when I started 27 years ago in the fire department. So it's the original workbench, it probably was
Just
just back
like
in 1970.
Including all the stuff below it.
All the stuff below. We're cleaning house too, we're gonna go through a bunch of old equipment and get rid of it, so.
Well, I guess I'd ask you, does that work?
That'll work.
And if we see our way through, we get to November, December, things.
You want the lottery money to donate the
Give you
money?
permission, go ahead right away.
Start this year.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
I have a question, but before that, I'll make a comment. If there's any money to be spent, I could tell you that we can find it, but I don't know where that money comes from right now, though, so that's me, maybe I'll use my I'm new here card, that I'm not certain exactly where we use that money, but I'm hearing a couple of people saying they want to get this done this year, and one said he wants to hold it to the budget, so I guess when you ask, is that okay? I'm not sure which okay you're asking about. So if it helps to at least get a motion or get something on the record to say, how do you want to proceed on this? I think that's helpful, so that it doesn't sound like the administrator's just holding it off, because that's not the case at all.
We need to actually take your motion.
Well, if I'm reading, no, I'm looking at guys that are using it. If you're saying you can get by with some mats and things, using it right now, we see how we're doing, and if some money pops up and we can make money available, we go ahead and do it right away. If not, we wait until 18, January 1, you order right there. Is that okay? Something like that? Is everybody okay with that? or
that.
no?
One thing is, we did have the sale of the generator.
Yep.
That brought in 7,000, something like that. One thing we could do is we could earmark that money towards this project. The other thing with that money is I was kind of interested and want to bring it to the board is to purchase a couple radios for first responders. Our first responders basically carry a pager just like firefighters do. They get calls in medical emergencies. They can be the first one arriving by themselves, going into people's homes, running into who knows what. They have no lifeline, they have no backup.
Yeah, that's not right.
It's not a safe position to be in. It's not something that I feel very comfortable with putting our people into, but it's what they,
I don't
it's what,
either.
it's what they love to do and they are doing it.
Yeah. Safety first.
If
Okay,
we
and
can
I
put
guess
We can
that's
put a
why.
couple radios out there in their hands. A couple of our firefighters are first responders, they have radios, but they don't get to everyone either. The more radios we have out there for that group, the better. We have some more firefighter first responders that can get the radios, they can be dual purpose for fire and first response.
I remember you came up with a figure on those radios a while back, but I have no idea what it was.
You can get 2 radios on there, right?
Yeah, about 31 to 3,300 bucks.
3,100, so it's perfect. And I'd rather buy the radios right away if we could. We'll get the policy taken care of, then you guys can order it. And then we have 1 radio in the budget, Kurt?
Yeah, one radio came with a new command vehicle.
So we'd be updating 3 radios this year.
Probably, yes, correct.
And that's, okay. And then next year, we'll have to take a darn good look at that and make sure we've got enough
They're not
money.
expensive toys. I mean,
No.
not cheap toys, they're expensive.
But it's a safety issue. To
Right.
me, there's no arguing about safety.
I
That's-
agree.
So and Kevin and I talked about this, and it might seem like we're getting a little bit off topic, but you can't act on the radios probably tonight. But what
No.
he's bringing it up under, though, is this idea of how do you look for fire department monies to pay for this improvement and Kevin and I had a good conversation about that money from the generator, whether, would that be eligible for this potentially? But then what about radios and other things? So, if it makes sense, potentially what we could do is at the next meeting, we talked about this surplus policy, where does that money go? That should be prepared for your next meeting.
Right.
If you want this topic and how to pay for these improvements with fitness equipment, we could put that on there too. And then if you want to talk about radios too, eventually we're talking about fire department monies coming in and having to find fire department monies for 2 potential projects. Does that sound okay that we hold it off until next meeting then, and then we maybe knock out all those things?
2 weeks.
Yes.
Yes.
Was it ever decided whether the generator was still under the utility or whether it was?
Never was. The fire department took it over, has been maintaining it, has made improvements to it.
The initial purchase of it.
Yep, the initial purchase was through the utility. The improvements done to the generator in the meantime were done by fire department personnel, getting donations from private businesses to donate lights and different things that were put onto that generator.
One aspect of the policy is going to be to establish a report moving forward that says, what do we have in inventory that might be considered surplus, and who does that belong
Under
to?
what department?
Right, so that'll be something that we'll have. Now, the problem obviously is that you sold a generator that was deemed surplus, but that was before we could get them. Policy, but the intent of the policy would be to make a determination on where does equipment lie, and then that can help you then when you sell that. If you want to keep the money with that department, well, then you've got it pretty well documented.
I remember when the generator came up, you brought it up, that you could buy 2 radios. That made sense to me from the very start. That makes sense. Okay. So if you want to do it that way, Patrick.
Maybe just run it, we can knock out all those items on the next agenda then.
Yeah.
Is that okay, Kurt?
That's fine with me.
Then Kurt, because you explained more expensive there, if you could do like a replacement schedule, like maybe a 10-year or whatever, or 5-year replacement schedule, so we can kind of lock those things in.
Yeah, we have to do that, because
You
we
know what
bought
I
so
mean?
many at one time.
Yeah.
And it's slowly adding to the fleet as we
Right.
go along.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want to buy every one at once.
Well, that's what happens when you start the program. But who knows, in 25 years, are we doing that again?
Oh,
Probably.
You're right, you're probably right,
You
Randy.
know, they'll change something down.
the technology the way.
You know how
it is now,
technology
who knows
is,
what's
right?
going. You know what technology the way it
Yeah.
is.
Well, they gave us a life of 10 years on a radio. Now, you think about that. You got Green Bay police officers doing how many clicks a day on that radio?
Oh,
Compared to a rural fire department that just take, writes down, goes to 35 calls a year. Their radios are gonna last so much longer, but obviously it could be damaged in a call and that.
Die from inactivity.
Well, you're right, Kevin. Yeah, that's it, So, you gotta take that all in consideration.
Yeah.
We should get 15 to 20 years on the radio. 15 for sure, I would say.
but I'd like to see us make sure we lock in
Oh,
a
yeah.
replacement schedule,
You
okay?
bet.
That's too big a safety item. Okay, good. So we're on board with that, everybody? Okay. All right. You got enough for next time? Okay, and then item 15, consideration of closed session. Item 3, in your motion, if we could list on there, negotiate and preliminary discussion regarding farm parking development plans.
I will,
Go ahead.
I will make that motion to proceed forward with potential negotiations of park and development property. And or, pardon?
Are you going to put in something in there to authorize passing that?
And
We're,
give
we're-
Patrick authorization to handle that.
Very good.
I'll
Okay.
second it.
Second by Brina.
What happened to my second?
What's that?
We just didn't hear you.
Go ahead.
I didn't hear you either, Kenny.
You can make the motion. Okay, all right.
Oh, let's roll the tape back.
Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried unanimously. Administrator report, Patrick.
Just a quick note on that, and for the record, we talked about this in closed session, but it's to establish general parameters for one or more properties that the town may look to purchase. And for competitive or bargaining reasons, we didn't want to identify which or at what level those parameters are. That will not be an end-all be-all transaction. a resolution and an offer to purchase, if it comes to fruition, would have to come through the town board, maybe at the next meeting or at a future meeting. So just a clarification that that's an authorization to move forward, but not to close the deal there. So, and I do appreciate that authority to do that. Thank you very much for that, the motion on the July 3rd with the offices. I appreciate getting that formalized. Like I said, I apologize. It's only a week away. We'll keep that kind of out there for future reference. Not a whole lot else to update on other than the fact that we've been talking with a lot of potential developments. One of the issues we've run into is trying to find land to locate them, which is hopefully going to be remedied on some level with the authority to try to get some land. And so other than that, the only other thing that's really out there on the radar is to review the personnel manual and take a look at a lot of these policies to make sure that we've got them refreshed, and if in the case where we might need a new policy, we'll bring that to the board in short order here. So that's about all I've got.
And I know it's been a little nuts lately.
Yeah, but that's good. But
Yeah,
that's good.
it's really good stuff, but, you know, and then if you could, like every couple of weeks on your brief, and we mean brief.
Yeah.
Update on what's going on.
Yeah.
But boy, the last 3 weeks, I don't know how you've fallen time to do
Yeah.
that. Okay, good, thank you. 17, Finance Director Report, Jennifer.
Okay, I sent out the financial statements through the month of April. I'm still working on them. So this is my best rough draft. So we're in a good position. Again, this is really first quarter plus 1 month. I will, hopefully at the next meeting, we'll have everything up through June. So that'll give us a better indication where we are through the year. Does anybody have any questions?
Questions? The 2 questions I had, Jennifer.
So Randy had asked about on the stormwater revenues. Part of what I said is I'm still working on these are my rough draft. So I wanted to get something out to you guys. I have to go book all the journal entries to move revenues from deferred to sales, I guess. So in the stormwater, it doesn't look like we didn't capture any income yet. We have, just need to make the journal entries to make that happen. I just about done with them. I was working on that pretty much all day today. So what I said down here is hopefully by the next meeting I will have everything through June, and that'll give us a good picture of where we are halfway through the year. Since we'll probably be starting budget stuff in the next month and a half here.
The only other question I have is the town administrator expense. It looked low, and I wanted to make sure that all of
Yep, so when you guys-
the interim stuff was in there.
Yep, so when you guys approved the budget amendment for the Kevin's interim services, you approved it to be spent in similar funds. So what you see in the general fund is a quarter, there's a quarter in the water fund, a quarter in the sewer, and a quarter in the storm. I think his total bill came out to, I'm guessing, probably,
Well, you or Pat did an analysis for me. I remember when I was asking him, there should be some savings there. You know, we were talking about money for either this reconstruction or the radios, potential savings there in that time period. But if you want to put an analysis together to see how much money that was saved there, if that's available.
yeah, I can do that, Randy.
That's what I was hoping he would do, take a look at all that and see if there was some money there.
So I know there is some in that area, but it might be offset by some of the things we
Right.
overspent.
Right.
I will tell you, if you do look at the,
Take a look
your,
at that, see where we're at.
in the general fund for equipment repairs,
Pretty well washed.
we are over budget already.
Is that because fire truck or?
No, I have a
Those
little fire,
repairs
just
all-
general equipment repairs. You guys approved 6,000, and as of today, I think we're like $6,300, so.
Okay, so
So there's-
that's my point. There are
Yep.
some offsets that you guys are aware of more than I.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions, Jim? No? Okay. 18, future agenda items, so we got policy for property, equipment, sales, and distribution of
Do you
money.
want to read what I got?
Go ahead.
So I have the Pure Baseball Agreement, surplus equipment policy, fire department fitness equipment upgrade, purchase of radios for first responders, and and cost analysis for PAA.
I also want that legal policy for legal expenses and other professional service expenses.
Who's authorized to contact and incur?
Exactly.
Yes, yep, so we've got a working draft on that.
Policy for, what do you want to call it?
Who, authorization to contact contracted services. Sound right?
Yeah, because you wanted it to encompass like engineering and accounting, and it's besides legal, and I thought those were good.
Professional
As long as we
services.
take a look at them, right?
Yeah, professional services.
Just a note, and it's okay here, but that surplus policy is baked into the town's purchasing policy, so that's one thing that overall,
Yep.
look at that purchasing policy, and it would also encompass the surplus property portion.
And dates are really streamlined here. Our regular board meeting, July 10th and 24th. Planning and zoning, July 12th. And Halo meeting is the 18th. And I believe it's at Oneida.
Right, somebody has to notify them though, so they're
I'll call her.
aware of that.
I'll call her and tell her. Yeah. Yeah, because remember, we switched with, after Mike's unfortunate death, we switched with them. They took this date, and then I kicked Oneida back. So I'll call Anna and tell her. Okay? Do that tomorrow. All right. No other information? Have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Van Dyke.
Second.
Second by Van Dyke. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Thanks again for your patience.